Hi, I'm Mark from Remote Dash, and I want to briefly go over how you navigate around MyTracks. So let's go to the MyTracks site. You may already be there, but I'm not. It's at mytracks.remote-.com. And what we'll do is, you can do this as well. Just go into View a Sample Track. And what this takes you to is, it's essentially a bogus account that we've called guest at remote-.com. And this account does not have any of its own tracks. It only has shared with me tracks, tracks that, well, right now it's June 6th. This is not officially released yet, and I am the only user. My name is Mark, and so I've shared a bunch of my own tracks. I've been working on this for, I don't know, about a year, in order to record my family vacations and some other things that just my own activities. I enjoy recording my own activities and look back where I've been, and I especially like it for recording vacations. So I I built this to do that. And so anyway, I'm the only user right now. Hopefully there'll be more than me. If not, well, such is life. So anyway, the way I'd like to describe this, if you look at this at the top here, we're on the dashboard, and I really want to go. It's easier to explain from home. So you see up here, I'm at home. So click on home, and what you'll see here now is all the tracks that are under this account, the account guest at remote-.com. So each one of these is a track. Like that's a Catalina hike. That's a walk down the beach at Oceanside. There's one at walk down the beach at Del Mar, um, et cetera here. And so what you'll see is here's all the tracks over here. And here's all my tracks. There are no tracks for this user right now, or forever, because it is just a sample bogus user. And what's interesting, what can I talk about real quickly here? Well, first of all, you already saw one thing. If you click on these, you'll see a summary of the track. Oh, I'll explain what a track is. A track is a recording that you make with probably your cell phone that follows you. There are lots of applications that do this. There are hiking apps. There are biking apps that you put on your phone that will follow you, track you, and then you take this data, and in our case, you move the data to Google Drive. That this is a Google Drive app, meaning that we access all the data from Google Drive. We don't keep it on our servers, and really, to me, that's a beautiful thing because you don't have to worry about Remote Dash losing your data. This data is on Google Drive, all right? And Google Drive's a little bit more, let's just say, financially successful than Remote Dash is right now. So I think they're going to be around a while. So I think it's just great. You can move it up there. Also, there's just so many, your data's secure there, and there's so many ways to move it to Google Drive. It's very easy with my particular application that I use on my cell phone to do the tracking. I can, on one touch, get the track up to Google Drive. Literally, it takes just a few seconds. And in addition, I've got a simple application on my phone that any of the pictures I take, and the pictures that this application needs to be geotagged, which basically means that there's location in the metadata for the photo. It's very easy to do on almost any SpeakMark mobile phone. It's very easy to geotag your photos. So I have an application that runs on my phone that after I take the photo, it immediately moves it up to Google Drive or moves it up when I'm in the Wi-Fi or something like that. I think it cost me $3 for that. It's just so simple. I hardly have to do anything to get the data up into the cloud. And then this application, the MyTracks application, takes the data from Google Drive once you authorize it. So anyway, after that long explanation of nothing. All right, so if you click on Oceanside, you'll see the summary for the track of Oceanside. If you click on Black's Beach, you'll see the summary. And if you're wondering, Black's Beach is actually a nude beach, but not there. It's not kind of the nudes you want to see. And when I walked through there were no nudes. I was very early in the morning. And anyway, all right. So the Del Mar, Solana Beach, La Jolla Beach, Pacific Beach. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so all these tracks that I've done, you might start noticing, oh well, what are you doing? You're always on the beach. Well, yeah. I like walking the beaches. I also like to see the area in which I live, and I think a great way of doing that is to, explore the beaches. So I started to record my walks down the beaches. I want to try to walk at least all the beaches in Southern California. I think who knows what I'll do. I've just started and started making these tracks. I've made more than what I have here. If I go over here, you'll see that there's on the share with me tracks. If I want to do some filtering, well, you see all the different colors here. These purple, like a purple one, a yellow one, a red one, a green one, and that's my dog Ruckus there barking. He's a great dog. Yeah, okay. And so, anyway, um, I lost my train of thought. Okay, blue ones. And so, all right, so yeah, what does that mean? Well, it identifies a particular category. So the blue is in a different category than the yellow, and the red is in a different category than the blue, and the purple, it's not blue, that's purple, and green. And so if you go over here, you'll see what that category is. Okay, so the purple is a California beach walk. If I click on that, it filters it and only shows the California beach walk tracks. So there you see those. That I've started. I actually done quite a bit more, but I've only included these on the guest site. Um, I shared it with the guest site. Let's see. Let's go over here. Golf. I think that's a great category. These categories, by the way, are totally up to you. You make them up. Just made these up for these tracks here, and you design the colors and all that. And I'll show you that, and that's in a different video since we can't make tracks with the guest site. So there's the Farmers Insurance golf tournament that I went to and recorded my walking around that golf tournament. I'm doing a couple bikes just to demonstrate. It looks like just one here. And hike, a couple hikes that I did, one in Catalina, another over here in Cowles Mountain, to demonstrate those. And then a vacation, because I think vacations is the main reason I wrote this software. Here in the summer 2015, before the software even existed, I was thinking about doing something like this. I took a trip and I didn't have a track, but I just took photos and geotagged my photos and was able to include them into our software here now. So that is essentially the home page. And, I think this is a great, actually, let me go back to, I'll go to the golf and I'll go to the Farmers Insurance Open. So if you click there, it gives you the summary, and if you click here, it'll take you to the dashboard. If you actually click on the 9 on the map, the marker on the map, it'll take you to the dashboard being the actual track. So there's the track, and what this sample track is just me walking around the Farmers Insurance Open on day 2 of the tournament at Torrey Pines Golf Course. And I just had my cell phone, I turned the app on, I started walking around, I started taking pictures, and that makes a track. They were uploaded to Drive, and that's the track. So what's interesting here? Well, there's a few things you can do. Number one, you can play it. So you see I'm just playing it now. You see how this window started, and also just following me around the golf course here, and my distance and my altitude and speed. These things could mean more depending on what you're doing. I mean, maybe if you're driving, it might mean something to you. If you're on a bicycle, it probably means quite a bit to you. If you're hiking, it might mean something to you. If you're running, it might mean something to you. And other things, it might mean nothing to you. But anyway, it does follow you along. And we've got these two charts over here. One is showing the speed at which I was walking, and the other is the altitude. And you notice there's these little dots that are tracking us along the way here. So I think that's kind of neat. You can see exactly how if you're going up a big hill, you'll really notice it. And I think maybe I'll show you that later. You can add notes right here about the track. I'll just quite a bit of, I think up to 2,000 characters, so that's probably more than you need. What else can you do? Okay, I'll stop the track. Is there something interesting? There's a summary. If you look up here, it's a summary of the data. Um, and photos. Okay, so here are all the photos. All right, so that I took that day. You may say, well, how did you associate the photo with the track? Are they embedded in the track? No. What happens is I created a directory um, on uh, Google Drive, and I put this track into it. The track being the GPS recording, and I put all the photos I took that day in that as well, and we automatically plot all the photos that are in the same directory as the track. And so these are just photos that are in the same directory as that track. And so let's look at this. This is kind of a cool photo. This photo 47 was taken at what they call, if you can read that, it says the view from this tee is the most spectacular on the course. So it just basically shows where you are. It's geotagged. So that's what that is. And I've got these sidebars because the charts are here now. So if you go over here to tools, it says hide charts. I'm going to hide them. And so now I've got this other thing, Farmers Insurance 2016 day 2. Okay. I'm going to go to another track, a later track. I clicked on this chevron over here for the next track. So that's Sunset Cliffs 8. It's just another thing I did. Another track. And what that's doing is actually going to Google Drive and pulling the data off Google Drive. The data is not stored at Remote Dash, like I said before. It's stored on Google Drive, so we got to go read it. There is a delay to that, but I don't find it uncomfortable at all. I've used this and tested it on Android phones, on really old iPads, with just okay internet, and it seems to work okay. What else can I show you here? I can show you this date thing. But this track doesn't work well. I know what I'll do. I'll show you over here the shared with me table. So these are all the tracks that have been shared with this user. These 13 tracks, you saw them in a different way on the home page where they were mapped, and now they're just in the table. So what I'm going to do is actually go over here to this, because this is strictly a photo track, meaning there's no GPS recording at all. It's just photos. And so I'm going to click on this to show you that. So you don't need a GPS recording. You don't need an application at all on your phone if all you want to do is geotag and plot your photos. And that might be more frequent use than the track. But I think I like the tracks, but you don't absolutely have to have them. So what this is a family vacation I took last summer. We left from San Diego to Bozeman, and we just took pictures. And I don't take a whole lot of pictures, but I took 343 pictures on my way up to Bozeman. And I really love this because this shows all the pictures. They're all mapped. It's a great way to go back and see what I did. I even like talking about it now because I can refresh and remember what happened here. Like this picture. That's me and my son. My son is now 2 inches taller than me, and this is this is less than a year ago. It's like 11 inches. He's grown like 9 inches. He's just a monster. So yeah, that's just cool to me. So that was the first day of our trip. And then this just shows all the pictures. So let's just say, hey, I want to see, oh, I don't know. Wow, this looks pretty cool. Where are you? Some fancy place? Like this one? Oh, this one. Well, yeah, we're some fancy place. We went through the Grand Canyon. So that's not a great picture. I guess the guy was shaking that took it. But it doesn't matter. It just shows you there you are at the Grand Canyon. If you want to see exactly where you are, we were right there at the Grand Canyon. I think that's neat. There's also these chevrons on the pictures themselves. These chevrons may work better when you have the application on a cell phone because you won't see this side table over here. All you'll see is like the photo, so you can go like this, and it'll move you from photo to photo when you're on a cell phone, which is pretty cool. Now, what I wanted to do, I actually went into this one for the main reason to show you the dates. So if I click on this chevron next to the date, I'm over here now. It'll take me to the first picture on that date. So you can have well, I mean, think about it. You could have all your photos in a directory. Not all of them, but let's say a lot of them in a directory. Maybe you have a July directory or something like that, and then you can click this chevron. It'll take you to the first photo of every day. You see? So let's go back to the start of our trip. There's the first photo on the trip. This is the first photo on the 12th. 12th. I'm gonna let me do something. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. You can always zoom, and also you can change from a map to satellite view. Satellite views might be great for hikes and stuff. I don't think it's great for a vacation view, but so I'll go to the 13th. So there was Las Vegas on the 13th. On the 14th, we're at the Grand Canyon. At the 15th, still at the Grand Canyon. 16th, we're on our way north somewhere in Utah, looks like. 17th, we're in Thermopolis, which is a very, very cool place. If you ever have a chance to go there, go there. It's kind of hard to get to east of Yellowstone. 18th, we're in Bozeman. That's the end of the trip. So, in the way at the end of the trip, there are 343 photos out of 343. So down here, it shows you information on each of the photos. The metadata that's contained in the photo is well, some of it is printed here. That is essentially it from a dashboard standpoint with a shared track. If you notice on this photo track, there is no, nothing to play back the track because there's no playback controls on a regular photo track. I'm going to switch tracks now. So I'd go here, excuse me. I wouldn't go here because this is my tracks and a guest user doesn't have any of his own tracks. If he had his own tracks, he'd go here. Shared with me tracks. These are the ones that have been shared with the guest user. And let's see, is there something interesting I can show? Catalina hike. I think this is interesting because it's a hike. And I think this shows you can understand a little bit better why maybe you'd want to use these charts. Look at the altitude here on this hike. And it shows the track here as we climb. So we climb from basically sea level to 1,500 feet on this particular hike that's shown here. It took us 8 miles, 4 hours, etc., etc. You can play it back, and here's the photos on this particular hike. I think this is pretty cool too because I'll demonstrate one thing here. This is we're leaving. See, here's the track. Track's over here, but there's all these photos we took. This was a 2-day trip I took with my family to Catalina. There's all these other photos that are off track. And well, why is that? Well, that's because I took them. All right, I put them in the same directory as this track. I call it the Catalina trip. And so I actually did other tracks. I think it was one other track I did. I think I did one that was along this coast here, but I haven't included that track in this presentation. So I think I did one up this way too. So anyway, there's these photos, and here's the one where we're leaving. See, this is a military time. It's on December 29th, 15:55 military time, which is 3:55 p.m. We're leaving Catalina. I just took a picture of us leaving, and it shows it there. And in fact, I think I remember. Yeah, let me go to. Yeah, this is photo 1. Here we are actually at Long Beach where we started on the ferry. That's photo 2. That's my nephew. That was before that was my niece. That's me just looking like me. And then here we are now going out. You see, that's Queen Mary. It's the Queen Mary. And going out, just taking photos. The trip on out. Photo 12, photo 13. Oh, here we are getting near Catalina. 14. Photo 15 and photo 15. Welcome to Avalon, which is where we port in Catalina. So I think you get it. I mean, to me, this is just. I love using this. I love talking about it now, and I really hope that you enjoy it, begin to use it, and it helps you relive some of your own experiences. And I think I've talked too much. I'm going to conclude this particular video now. I will make a few more. One's going to show how to get in with your own, make your own tracks, etc. But this is just orientation. I hope you navigate through the sample tracks. You can do all the same navigating I did. I've made that completely available to you from um, from here, right there. So that's all you have to do. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening. I appreciate you hearing me babble. I'll enjoy my track.